So we are on day 42 of the rehearsal process, and it is 88 days until the show.
This is going out into the public.
My name is Charlie and I'm the assistant producer of the show.
I'm Matthew, I am the musical director.
Matthew, I think, is one of the most important people in the York theatre community.
To start with, I would say Matthew's patient. I think that can't be understated for a musical director.
First of all, he's just a genius, so he knows exactly what he's doing. Musically, he just knows everything.
When you get given this big score that's, massive, you've got to get through it all, and there's all these different harmonies. You've got some people who can read music, some people who can't, and he just takes it all at our pace.
Matthew was the first person who believed in me, and that is, he can see people where the talent is there, and he just knows how to get the best out of them. And bringing this back to Rent, where he has a cast that are already so talented, the fact that he can then push them even further is just incredible, and that's what we're seeing in these rehearsals. The way he can be quite harsh at times, he's honest, he speaks his mind, but I don't think there's a single person in that rehearsal room who would say that that hasn't improved them as a performer.
The last time that I did Rent was a mini tour of it. It was phenomenal. Absolutely loved playing in the band, getting to MD it and create the harmonies, work with a truly phenomenal cast is incredibly exciting. It's one of the strongest casts I would say I've ever worked with. And to do that in York at the Joro is amazing. My teaching style for this is very much drill the notes, drill the timing, but also discussing character throughout and playing around with the score, which I personally see most scores as a skeleton.
Guidelines.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. It's the old Pirates of the Caribbean thing.
Yeah.
The code is just guidelines. Lovely. Nice happy end to that song. Okay. Dare we try all of it? Yeah! Joe, how well do you know your bits?
Goodbye, love.
Yeah. I can't believe you disagree. I can't believe this is goodbye.
I don't sit down yet.
No.
In music rehearsals, Matthew can be very independent, so all it takes is a few discussions before rehearsals start to sort of align our visions, and then you can kind of leave him to his own devices. There'll be the odd moment in rehearsals where he will sort of call over to the back and be like, how are we doing this? And we can have our input.
The score is a skeleton, and it's kind of our job to put the flesh on the bones. So seeing what the inflections are, seeing with Dan how the characters are going to do things, what we can then do musically to match that. Can we option things up or down depending on the character, to create a unique version that will leave an audience going, wow, that was really fucking good, rather than, oh yeah, that's the same as what I saw 3 times this year.
Yeah, I think that's something that I, like, from past experience working with you, find really nice as like a performer, is the fact that it's never necessarily like what is written. Like, if you've got the capability, which we do in this cast because they're so talented, is if we've got that capability to kind of put an extra like note up, or like play around, like with Dan playing Roger, for example, like he's got unbelievable range. Like, if so you can use that, like push it, and that's something that I think makes you such a good Andy, is the fact that he's not paying me to say this. Is you trust your performers, is if they've got that capability, is let's use it, let's show you off, why not?
I'm Joseph and I'm playing Tom Collins.
I'm G and I'm playing Mimi Marquez. This is my first time working with Matthew, and my first time with the company as a whole. I just saw the advert on Facebook and really wanted to get involved with some more theatre in York. And I think you're much
exactly the same. Yes, so I saw it. I think it was I did it at university. I did theatre as a degree, and then I did a lot of extracurricular theatre on the side. And then I saw it. I saw the post on the Joseph Rowntree Theatre. And I thought, brilliant, I love Rent. I think now is my opportunity to get back into it, and obviously went for the audition. And as I say, there's similar to G, never worked with Inspired by Theatre, I never worked with Matthew, so yes, very, very new. I'm quite rusty, but...
It's been nice actually having, we sort of on the first rehearsal, we went, have you done this before? No. And I think there's 4 or 5 of us who haven't worked with these guys before. And we all get the train together as well, which is nice.
Candle, the last 2 rehearsals with Dan Poppet and G. Bassi, who is our Roger and Mimi. At this point in the show, she's heavily addicted to heroin. She is shivering because she has no heat, etc. She's not having a great time, I think is probably fair to say.
Yeah.
But getting her voice to match that, so making it a more breathy sound, more exhausted, that's been really fun to do.
We can ramp up the movement and we can get the physicality of the exhaustion, but also actually tire her out, and we can work together to get that quality across in a very natural way.
So I think Light My Candles, it's really difficult to do with a book in your hand because it's such a performance song. It's these 2 people meeting for the first time, and there's got to be a spark. And also, Mimi, you assume, has already taken some drugs and is going to take some more drugs in that scene. So when trying to sing, it's almost like unlearning everything that you've learned about how to sing nicely and really like focusing on the character. And it's been really nice to do that. With the script in hand, I've been messing around with the tempo a little bit, and Matthew's very keen for it to be very nuanced as well, so every time me and Dan do it, we'll do it slightly differently, and we're just kind of finding our character within these music rehearsals.
What Matthew does is sometimes will say, this bit you could be a bit more flexible with it, like enjoy this bit, take your time, like I'll kind of like take your cue, like you sort of lead this bit, which is quite nice, because then it lets you focus on like the character a bit more.
Yeah.
It's very bitty, isn't it? Some parts are really bitty, where it might be like like a sentence that you would normally just like speak in conversation, but Jonathan Larson's obviously written it in literally notes on the score, and so you've got to be quite strict with that. But then there are aspects where Matthew will give us a bit more flexibility.
Yeah. It's really nice. It feels as if it's already quite character focused, rather than just being like, we're going to learn the score as it's written. It's going to help so much when we start getting on our feet that we've already practiced those sort of things. You fit like my father's. You want to dance with you? No, with my father.
So I believe today we are working on all of Act 1.
Yeah, I think it's just a straight run straight shoot through.
We're pretty much done with music rehearsals now, and I will say we're in an incredibly strong position. So I believe today is a final once go for Act 1, with next week being a final go for Act 2.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, I'm going to stop and change stuff. And if somebody's singing the wrong note, they're getting a slap. But hopefully by the end of this week and next, we will actually have a pretty solid show, regardless of the rest of it, which then puts Freya and Dan in a really good place to start messing it up.
Then it all goes out the window.
Yeah.
Maddie's over the moon, because Maddie's I've not seen Maddie for quite a while, and she was in the rehearsal yesterday on Friday, and she just blew out the water. It was absolutely brilliant. The first time I've heard her do that, I was like,
Yeah, we were talking about that, weren't we? Because we said that if that's not done right, Maureen can come across as quite annoying. But the way Maddie did it was so funny and really good. And also just absolutely note perfect, so it really worked.
Got to find a way to jump over the moon. Only thing to do is jump over the moon. Then a little bulldog entered. His name, we have learned, was Benny. And although he once had principles, he abandoned.
We did Rent, didn't we, a couple of weeks before Christmas, the first opening number, and that was really nice. And it was interesting with just the piano, because I think you're so used to it with like the guitar. Like the guitar comes in really loud with the riff, and it's. So doing it at the piano was quite interesting, but...
Of course, because it's a rock musical, isn't it? Yeah, you want the whole band and that sort of, that drum beat.
Yeah, that's it, yeah. And so when it was just at the piano, it was a bit like, oh god, is this Ren? This doesn't sound, but actually no, it is. And then once everyone started singing their parts, it was really nice to see it come together.
We're not gonna pay, we're not gonna pay, we're not gonna pay last year's rent, this year's rent, next year's rent, rent.
And then you go to the other end of Act 1, La Vie Boheme, and I mean, still vocally that's stunning, but I think that was exciting from a different point of view, just to see how much everyone was already having fun. So one of the rehearsals, it's just a music rehearsal, so everyone's standing there and singing, but I'm pretty sure everyone in La Vie Boheme was dancing along to it.
Yeah.
And it was incredible.
Makes my job easier.
Dearly beloved, we gather here to say our goodbye. Here she lies, no one knew her worth, the late great daughter of mother. Mucho masturbation.
What are we, 6-7 rehearsals in now or something like that? Maybe slightly more.
I think.
Yeah, and for it to be sounding this good, this quickly, is
it's incredible.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
In a good way though, because now we can start, like you said, like adding more character into it, add the staging into it, like, and then the actors get to make more kind of informed decisions on like how they're portraying their songs and stuff, which is just, it's going to be so good. Like getting to the next stage now.
Viva la vie boheme!
What is it like working with Freya?
Oof. I think under one word it'll be joyful.
The end it will come, so you have to wake up till you go